She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show, where we are helping you redefine success. Why? Because all of the media that is out there tells us what success is supposed to look like, whether it's that show, The Lifestyle and the Rich and Famous, or of course it's the magazines that are always talking to us as we're in the aisle getting ready to check out our groceries, the television shows that we watch, the music that we listen to. Yes, not to mention driving down the road in your own neighborhood and seeing that so-and-so got a new car. We have a tendency of gravitating to what success has been painted for us. It's a picture that's been painted for us. And yet as we head on that road, it seems to be paved with a lot of things, disclaimers, if you will, that nobody told us about. You know, like the debt that goes with it. Today, we're going to be really looking at redefining success in business. That's going to be the focus for today's program. You know, when I first entered the business world when I was 19 years old, I had not a clue about anything to do with business. I grew up on welfare. My parents never had a job, ever. Okay, never. They never left the house in the morning, got dressed, went to work, came home after. No. The man that raised me, who I thought was my father, I found out at 18 that he was not my biological father, but he'd sit there in his blue boxer shorts rolling a joint. And that's what he'd be doing when I came home from school at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Welfare recipients, they did the best with what they knew how. They obviously had some drug problems and a bunch of other problems. We had all kinds of family problems. So I certainly didn't have an upbringing in business. I didn't get an education from a family business or anything like that. But I was introduced to some business people that really introduced me to a different way of thinking, a different way of living, and a completely different way of approaching life and finances and people. And I am so grateful that I met them at 19 when I did, because the things that I learned certainly have shaped my life for the rest of my life. I've made a lot of bad business moves, but I've made some good ones as well that have proven to be very, very profitable, the tune of millions of dollars. In fact, I made my first million by the time I was 23 years old. And so I want us to put a focus on that business that you are working for or that you own. Is it owning you? Are you overloaded with people problems in your business? Do you have the problem of not being able to get enough customers? Have you fallen into the fall lows, meaning it was the hot summer and everyone seems to be focused on, vacationing, spending time with the kids, going fishing, canoeing, whatever, surfing, whatever it is that you do. And then it's time to get back to work. After you get the kids settled back in school, now we're stuck back in those routines, and you're having the fall lows. You're feeling a little sluggish. You're not able to move past some deadlines. You know what I mean? It seems like your whole team, your entire staff seems to have that same slow, slothful, we got to get motivated. We got to get excited again. We got to do something. Who's bringing in the sales? Is anyone focused? Yes. Yeah, it seems to happen. And some businesses inherently, this is that time of year where they struggle the most. And moving into the end of the year, you got to get your attitude straight, because you're going to close out your year not strong, but very weak. Then, of course, creates more stress for the beginning of 2015. And you don't want your next year to be a year that starts off with just crazy amounts of pressure. So let's go ahead and figure out, what do you want to accomplish this month for business? And if you've found yourself, or your staff has found, or your team has found yourself, or whatever your organization is in that place of sluggish, unmotivated, not very encouraging. People are stressed out. Things aren't working the way that it should. You've had a little dip in sales, and often what happens when that happens is that people have their attitude dip also, and then it just seems to be a reoccurring thing that continuously happens. And you don't want that. You want to get off a track of unmotivated. You want to get off the track of lower sales, and you've got to put yourself back in the right place so that you can increase your business before the end of the year takes place. And so oftentimes what I encounter as a business consultant for 2 decades now is that people are always looking to the outside as to why things are not working on the inside. But that's not how it goes. On this path of success, this journey that you're on of building and helping the economy with the business that you might have, you cannot look on the outside. Success in business and everything else in life is an inside game. It's an inside work. And so if your team is not motivated, if the people that you're working with every day are sluggish, you got to look in the mirror. You have to look at yourself and say, okay, how am I approaching this? What am I doing to discourage the people that I'm working with? Who is discouraged? How can I help to improve that? Okay. If the sales are not happening, who's focused on them? I found recently in a meeting and I asked the question, so what's the sales goals for this week? What were they for last week? And it was amazing how somebody that maybe should know the answer to that question might not have that answer. And that simply just shows, whoops, we lost focus. It doesn't mean, oh, what a terrible bad person. What it means is I took my eye off of the ball. I didn't keep the focus where the focus needed to be. It's not the economy. It's not something that happened out there. It has happened in here. And so the internal part is it's time to reassess your focus. It's time to reassess your commitment. It's time to make the appropriate changes that need to happen so that you can make the financial improvements that must happen, especially before the end of the year. And it's okay if you got off track. Like I said, vacations get people off track. They're supposed to. You're supposed to unplug. But then when it's time to get back in the saddle again, start riding that horse and running that horse again, you have to be focused and know why you're on the horse. You have to know what the goal is, and you've got to have a plan in place to make that happen. So I'm taking your calls today. We're going to be talking about redefining success for business, closing out the end of this year. It's important for you to reassess, to reevaluate first yourself. Your team simply is a reflection of where you're at. So let's look at that and look at how we can make improvements closing out this year, improving the economy, improving your personal finances as well as the finances of the people that are working with you. 844-200-3264 is the number. Again, that's 844-200-3264. What seems to be the biggest challenge you're facing right now in business? Small business or not? Even if it's a business you're working from home, from your garage, whether it's a door-to-door type of a business or something that you just started as a service. House cleaning is a business. Whatever it is, let's talk about ways that you can put your head back in the right place, get on that horse, ride that sucker, and let's close the year strong. 844-200-3264. What are the challenges that you're having right now in business? What are those painful places that are causing frustration? And how can we help you today to improve your bottom line? Again, that's 844-200-3264. If you need help in that particular area, we are going to help you. I found for myself that there were certain months of the year that I could see when the people I was working with would begin to take their head and putting it in a terrible place. Just use your imagination. They would take their head and they would put it in a place, whether it was in doubt, their head would be in frustration. They'd be focused on things that they could not fix. I remember certain individuals that I'd be working with that would be focusing on what they wanted to change that was everybody else and not themselves. All of this is a giant waste of time. And by the way, that also goes for the things that happen at home. You're not going to change your spouse. You're not going to change your kids. You can only change yourself and how you deal with them. Just as if you're a business owner, you're not going to change your staff. You can fire them, but at the same time, if you feel like they have potential, maybe there's some communication things that need to change. Maybe you need to change your approach and how you're working with them. Some people need to be managed more than others. Some people need someone else to tell them what the goal is. They don't know how to come up with the goal all by themselves. So these are the kind of things that I've seen through the years in working and consulting with various different businesses that help to decrease stress, get the focus back where it belongs, and to improve the overall bottom line. So let's look at that, all right? Right now, look at yourself and look at, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how focused am I? On a scale of 1 to 10, where is my commitment level? On a scale of 1 to 10, What improvements have you made in your personal skill set so far? Again, what improvements do I need to make in working with these particular people? You really want to find what the common denominators are of your stress points, and that will reveal to you what maybe your weakness is, that then you can figure out, how do I cover that weakness with somebody else's strength? How can I put systems in place to where I can no longer feel the frustration that I feel in this particular place? And sometimes the answer is really inexpensive. It really is. Sometimes it's an assistant. Sometimes it's somebody it could even be part-time. It could be outsourcing something that you don't need to personally be doing yourself. A lot of times business owners have a tendency of hovering over and trying to control all of it versus raising up leadership and delegating responsibilities to that leadership and trusting them with that and simply just holding those people accountable. So when we continue, we're going to answer your call. We have 6 lines that are lit up so far, 844-200-3264. As we redefine success, closing out your year, making sure that you're helping to improve the economy, not hurt the economy, not only your personal economy, but those that are working with you, as well as the greater overall economy. Just because you've had a slump doesn't mean you got to stay there, friend. Do you hear me? Just because you've had a slump doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can make some simple little adjustments that can change the bottom line today. I recently looked at one particular company and organization that happened to be adding a whole bunch of extra steps that they didn't need to add. The steps were actually costing money and actually taking longer to get the end result. Whereas they had a simple little 3-step system that they kept doing over and over and over again that produced a certain result. For some reason in their head, they thought a 25% conversion ratio wasn't good enough. I'm like, what? A 25 conversion ratio on free leads was amazing, absolutely amazing. And here they were trying to change the wrong thing. They were thinking that maybe that they needed to spend more time in email and more time badgering people, when in all reality, no. If we just look at the numbers, we can see where the improvement needs to be made. So it's important for you to evaluate and look at, what's the goal? Am I focused? Am I committed? What improvements do I need to make? And how can I fix the overall bottom line? We're going to continue right back here after the short break, taking your call. And we're going to handle one business at a time, helping the improvement to come. This is Dani Johnson.
Good people bring out the good in people. And you're sharing great moments with thousands of good people right now. There's more of the Dani Johnson Show coming up.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success.
Now, more of the Dani Johnson Show.
A wise man listens to counsel of other wise people, but a fool is wise in his own eyes. Man, that's from the best success book ever written. And today we're talking about success in business and how can we redefine what that actually looks like for you personally. You know, so much of the media out there has been telling us for years what success looks like. And it usually is in the form of stuff. Why? So we would buy it. But then it comes with a heavier price than just the price tag on the outside of the stuff that we bought. It also comes with the pressure. Yes. And then we have to manage it. And then we have to maintain it. And then, hello, we're losing sleep. And now the thing that we thought was going to save us time is actually costing us more time. And oh my gosh, what a disaster. Now I'm more time away from my spouse. I'm not as much time with my kids. Now I can't sleep at night because I have all these lists of tasks that I have to do. Forget it. Forget about it, Dani. Forget about success. No, you don't have to throw in the towel. What it means is that you have to determine what it is for you personally. That's what we do every day here on the Dani Johnson Show, tackling different categories concerning your success, business and career, finance, family, your health, you name it. We want to see your life improve every single day. We're here bringing you tips to make sure that that actually happens. So your job is to come to the table and listen to the show. And as you do that, you're going to make small adjustments that make in the overall picture where you get to reach the destiny that you're actually after. We're going to the phones as we're talking about success in business and challenges maybe that you might be happening in this time of year. How do you get yourself out of that slump and right back on track? We have Amber from Seattle. Amber, what's the biggest challenge that you're having in business right now?
I would say one of the biggest challenges is just being new to the area and what people are saying about me without being clients or specifically knowing me or knowing my work.
Okay, well, hold on a second, Amber. This is what I want to know. How do you know what people are saying about you?
Just mainly like word of mouth.
Right, but just tell me what you think people are saying to you. Saying about you, being new to the area, a new business owner that's come into the Seattle, Washington area. What do you think people are saying?
Well, I don't know, just stay away from her. Or,
oh, Amber, where are you getting that idea from? Like, has someone come to you and said, so-and-so said that you're the new business owner in the area and we should stay away from you? Amber?
No, not to my face.
So no one has said this to your face?
Mm.
Okay. And so where did you get this idea from?
There's a lot of competition in the area.
Oh, but Amber, you're not answering my question. You're actually creating the reason why you fabricated this idea in your head.
I don't know, I guess.
I have another question for you. Have you ever in the past, prior to moving to Seattle, Washington, okay, and starting a new business in Seattle, Washington, have you ever in the past, in the last place that you lived, worried about what other people thought of you?
No, not like, no. Mm-mm.
Never. So why in the world are you worried about it now?
Because I want to be successful.
Oh, well, guess what? How many people do you think that I have that hate me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, answer the question.
Probably a lot.
Yeah. And how many do you think that love our services?
Probably a lot.
Millions have used our website to help grow their business and to pay off debt and to improve their families. Millions have been in touch with our content, and it has helped them. There might be thousands that hate my guts. They don't like the lipstick I wear. They don't like the clothes that I wear. They don't like how tall I am. Mm-hmm. And there are maybe thousands out there saying terrible things about me, but there are millions out there who have been saying, go to DaniJohnson.com. This woman has helped me. So, Amber, who are you going to focus on? Wait, don't answer the question. Which will you focus on that's going to help you successfully build that business in Seattle?
I guess like maybe the service that I can give.
Yeah, you answer critics with results, honey. You have to focus on knowing who you are and not giving a rip what somebody else says about you. Because as soon as you get into your head that everyone is talking bad about you, or there are people out there that don't like you, or they don't like what you're doing, Well, the more you focus on that, the more you're going to get of those people, because now all of a sudden you start communicating those messaging out on social media. You communicate it to the general public. You start treating customers as though they're going to start treating you bad, versus lead with what you know works and is good. Don't allow that mindset to get into you that you're going to please all people all the time, because you ain't, honey. If you're going to succeed, you're going to have people that don't like you. Welcome to the club of succeeding in business. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Stay right here for more of the Dani Johnson Show. Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you.
Get ready to live the uncommon life. Here's Dani Johnson.
You know, we can get something that goes inside of our head that causes us to communicate in a way that is not helpful. Success is a mind game. That's all it is. It's a game that starts in our mind. And when we get into our heads that somehow we have to make sure that everybody loves us, that is a plan of failure. We have no control over how people like or hate us, how they feel about us. We have a little bit to do with their perception of us, but the bottom line is if you make sure that you as an individual, even as a business owner or a coworker with a business owner, that you're making sure you're giving it your best shot, you're giving the best possible service that you can, at the end of the day, your results are what people are after. That's what they're after. It doesn't matter what the gossip is that people are shooting out their mouths. And again, it might be one or two people, but boy, when that sucker gets inside of our head and it gets lodged in here, what do? We're like thinking about it all the time. We're dwelling on it. And then we start building this mountain out of an anthill, which isn't even a hill. We built a mountain out of an anthill, and then all of a sudden, our head is in the dumps. We're doubting what we're doing. We've lost sight of our vision. We're completely unfocused on building something and helping the economy and helping our families. But instead, we're answering an idea that might not even be true. So get to work. Quit focusing on trying to make everybody love you. It's never going to happen, friend. Listen, again, hello, there you have it. That is what, again, we see a lot of people think about business. Being successful in business means that everybody loves you. No. That is not what it means to be successful in business. Being successful in business is that you have more people that love your results that you produce for them more than those that don't like you. It's a race. Just make sure that you're giving awesome service, that you're following through with your word, you're giving good value out there to the marketplace, and keep focused on that. You're always going to have people that don't like your food in your restaurant. You're always going to have people that don't like the clothes that you're selling in your retail store. You're always going to have people that don't like what you say out of your mouth. You cannot please all people. That is a lie. It is a fallacy that if you think that you can, hello, even if you are a perfect person, you're going to have people that are against you, all right? So let that penetrate your mind right now and get to work on going after good business instead of trying to answer your critics. Don't waste your time answering your haters. Stupid waste of time. Go answer the critics with getting results with other customers, and you flood the good props that you're getting. The people that are saying, I love this service. I love this product. These people are awesome. Get more people saying that than paying attention to the ones that are saying, Some people are just dumb. Don't you realize that? All right, this is Dani Johnson. We're redefining success in business today as our focus is business, helping you as a small business person to be able to improve your bottom line this month. In fact, let's improve it today. All right, we've got Greg from Santa Cruz. Greg, what is the biggest challenge you're having in business today, and how can I help you?
Well, Dani, sure got an earful when I jumped on, and you're right. You are going to get people who just don't like you, but you just kind of go, oh, well, it's their problem.
That's
not
right.
ours. We're giving a great service.
And it becomes, Greg, it becomes our problem when we allow those words, or even we make it up in our head. When we allow that sucker to go into our hearts, Now it's our problem.
Yeah.
Now it's our problem. And not only is it our problem, but it's our staff's problem, right? Because we're stressed out, we're biting heads off, right? We're not helping the business to grow because we're focused on the wrong thing. What you focus on is what you get good at, bottom line. All right, Greg, go ahead.
I remember I heard you say something, gosh, about 7 years ago. I was at one of your first steps, and you just said, you're just 90% of the people are going to love you. Then there's kind of those people who just kind of come through your life and they make your life miserable. You just kind of go, they're going to be there.
Yep.
So what? You just have to deal with them, move on, because you're giving a good service, you're getting good results.
Yep.
Okay. For me, I guess I have two things that some of it you already answered. I have a pretty successful business over here in Santa Cruz, plumbing and heating, air conditioning
Nice.
business. We got 36 employees, 24 trucks out on the road, and growing fast, 35% a year. And now I'm poised at a spot where I can go get the big heavy hitter property management companies in the Bay Area, San Jose, up to San Francisco. So I'm trying to couple two together. I'll go out there and get those, but I gotta follow through by having skilled guys. So I guess I need to go implement wording in my advertising instead of going on Craigslist. I got to bring in more quality guys to back up what I'm going to sell to these property managers,
right,
and everything. And it's kind of something I kind of asked you, kind of put out on Facebook.
Greg, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have built a very successful business. You have 36 employees. You have 24 drivers on the road, as you said. Is your business profitable?
Yeah.
Okay. And is the business
35% a year? We are. We got a good profit line.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you started tapping into us 7 years ago?
We started 10 years ago, made a lot of mistakes. Now we know what to do. Now we're poised to really go. I wanted to go at them 10 years ago, but I didn't have the staffing, the manpower to really go there. Now we're there. Everybody's looking at us in town, and everybody's trying to copy us. And everybody's even seeing us over in San Jose. So now I want to kind of now jump on the next step, and I want to get those big accounts, and I want to serve those accounts. And I'm trying to, in my mind, I have to go. See, I've answered a lot of stuff since I've heard you, and when I answered you on Facebook, that is called, for skill, you have to train these guys. And for, your people out there, your new accounts, you got to go out there, and what you promise them, you got to deliver. Because we do that already, and we have got tons of testimonies. We are that.
Wow.
So I guess
So, Greg, let me ask you this question. I just want to know this. I want to know this question and the answer to this question. What is the main reason why you want to grow? Because right now you're at 36 employees, 24 drivers. You're 35% profitable every year. You're the lead at what you're doing. What is the main reason why you want to get bigger and expand into a bigger market?
Two things. I have a business partner with my son-in-law, and it's been my dream for 35, 40 years. It took me to get to this point after having a commercial business where I built restaurants where now I have a service business, and now I want to do it. Now I have skilled people to do it. And then my son-in-law, who is 30 years younger than me, I want to grow it with him, and then then he takes it, and then we both wanted to grow. This is our dream. We've always wanted to grow a big business.
Okay.
From $5-6 million, now we want to grow to a $40 million company within 10 years.
Okay, so then now the thing to look at is who is already doing that in your line of work in the plumbing business, who is already leading the market at that $40 million mark. I also want you to look at what will it take to do that. You see, sometimes our goals don't fit our overall life goals, all right? So for me, for what I'm hearing you say is that this is a legacy for you, right? It's your son-in-law, okay? He's providing...
It's a legacy for all of our family because it's a family business.
Exactly.
And it's a legacy. So,
exactly.
care of the family on a whole.
Exactly. So for the family business, you're wanting to grow to 40 million. So I think the first thing to do is to try to figure out what does it actually take to go from the $5-6 million mark to that $40 million mark, have an entire huge fleet. Obviously, you want to be a national chain of some sort, because if you're going to get to 40 million, it's not going to happen just in the Bay Area. It's probably, you want to have a franchise, that might be the way that you have to go. And I'd be even looking into that. What do I have to do, license or franchise this kind of a business versus me managing 300 employees, 800 employees, right? Because if right now it's 36 employees to do $5-6 million a year, how many employees do you want to manage to get yourself to 40 million? Think about that. If it's 24 drivers, it's giving you $5-6 million a year.
A lot of them are laborers. So 16 of them are technicians. The rest are laborers.
I know, but just answer the question. Are you prepared to have hundreds of employees and hundreds of drivers?
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Okay. So if that plays out in your family life plan, that plays out in what you see yourself doing, then it's find a model and look at how they treat their customers. Look at how they are advertising. Look at what their kind of communication is out to the marketplace. The wheel has already been created. And so then it's like, okay, where do I have to shore up the difference between the way my drivers communicate, the way our look is, the way our branding is, the way our systems are, the way are we organized, are we disorganized? What are the actual holes, and what do we have to do? Here's another thing is you might want to start looking to recruit a CEO. and a CEO. Somebody that knows how to manage a $40 million business, right? Somebody that's got experience in that particular arena, because that's a different tax maniac to deal with. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of different maniac things, different insurance. I mean, the list goes on of the things that you'll be managing, and you're good at that where you're at now. Now it's about tapping into people who know how to take you to that next step, that next level, versus you having to be the one to figure it all out yourself. So that'd be what I would be looking to do. So Greg, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on turning your business around and being as successful as it is. Hopefully that was helpful to you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Achieve success. Keep an open mind for new ideas and approaches in your business. Dani Johnson can help you keep an open mind. So don't go away.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Life can be rather crazy, really busy, and things can be spinning out of control. And yet there you are trying to build a successful business. Small business outside of the home, or one that might be in the home. And man, I'm telling you, we seem to add things to our lives, get focused on other things that hurt the bottom line. Today, we are redefining success in business, getting you back focused to helping your own personal economy with that career and business, as well as helping the overall economy by you helping to bring employment to your local area, or just the fact that you don't need employment, that you've employed yourself. So we're taking calls, manning each business problem that people are facing that are listening to the Dani Johnson Show right now. We've handled plumbers, air conditioning people that have clothing businesses, coaching, volleyball player type gym businesses, everything you can imagine that have been calling in seeking advice, as well as small little businesses that are work from home. So there's been some really good advice that's come out today, and I'm excited to see what the results are from you who have been listening. I know that you can take the things that have been said and help other people with it as well. So 844-200-3264 is our number. Again, that's 844-200-3264. If you found yourself in those fall lows, you're trying to get back from the vacation mindset and get focused again, today is a good day to be listening in, because we're going to push you out of that and get you focused on the things that are important. All right, we got Joshua from Wamego, Kansas. Welcome to the show. How can I help you with your business today?
Hi, I'm Joshua from Wamego, Kansas. I'm 16. I am homeschooled, and so since I'm homeschooled, my mom and dad, my dad would like me to work, but my mom doesn't. She wants me to focus on my homeschool. So I figured since I went to First Steps that it's no exception not to have a job still. So me and my friends went ahead and started a business on our own, and we started it basically literally in my backyard.
Nice.
And so took some convincing with my mom, but she was okay with it. My dad loves the idea. But since we're just starting and stuff, I want to know, I guess the good question would be, how would I be able to manage my time with doing school, but being able to do this business at the same time without getting overwhelmed?
Okay, first of all, I'm so proud of you that you started your first business now at 16 years old. Number two, I am really proud of your parents for bringing you to First Steps to Success, where you learn some business, finance, and relationship skills so that you can make all of this work together. And you learn how not to go into debt, buddy, so that you will not be a part of that generation that's a slave till the day you die to credit cards and car loans and mortgages and student loans and all that stuff. So I'm excited. You've got a good head start ahead of most of us who start off in life. And by the way, it's really important, Joshua, because it sounds like mom lost the battle. What's really important that you do is that you make your schoolwork the number one priority and bang that stuff out first thing in the morning, man. Make mom happy first. You're going to have the blessing of a lifetime on that business, and you'll be amazed how she'll help to promote it with all kinds of excitement. She'll be the biggest cheerleader as long as you're honoring her with what the focus should be. You're 16, you got to finish school. And so get it done. And I know that if you're homeschooled, you can get it done in 4 hours. You and I both know you can. So bang that thing out. Get it done. Get it over with. Do your very best. And then noon on or 1 o'clock on, you go ahead and build that business. And so it's about segmenting time. Don't try to do schoolwork in between building your business. Do you understand? No. School hours are from 8 a.m. till noon. Have lunch for an hour. Now hit it hard starting at 1 o'clock, building that business. Make sure that you never have homework at night. Just get it all done. You know you can do that. It's not difficult. Not only that, this new business that you have, that counts as school credit, you know. Sure does, buddy.
Really?
Yes! You track those hours. Create that business plan. Go and build that thing. You track those hours. That absolutely counts as credits for your high school education. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Absolutely it does. Part, by the way, that I'd be doing, Joshua, as a project, is I would be going in and interviewing business owners in your local area and saying, hey, I'm 16, I'm a homeschool student, and as a class, I am studying business people. Is there any way that I could ask you a couple questions about how you've succeeded in business? Dude, go do that. You're going to get an education, and while you're building your business, do what they're telling you to do. You're going to make some great money. I'm so excited for you. Joshua, I can't wait. I'm going to see you when you're a grown man, super successful with a great family. Yay.
You'll probably see me at
Creating a Dynasty in December. I can't wait. November. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more business advice right after this.
Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Now, more of the Dani Johnson Show.
We would be so much better off, Dani, if only... You know, what's your blank right there? Our business would be so much more successful if only... I would be so much happier if only. Come on, fill in your blank. Listen, that means that you are a victim to circumstances, friend. Right here on the Dani Johnson Show, we redefine success. Your success is never determined on other people solely. Your success is determined by how you deal with those people in your life, how you deal with those circumstances in life. You can't control people. Haven't you not figured that out? especially if you're married. Gosh, I've been in the same sleeping position with the same man for 23 and a half years. I am not going to change that guy, and he is not going to change me. Oh my goodness, have we tried through the years? Oh, Lord, have mercy. And that results in war. We can't change people. We can only change ourselves. How we manage the problems that other people have, how we manage our emotions with other people's problems, and how we manage our own emotions of our own problems. Success requires maturity, no matter which way you slice it. And those that carry maturity and wisdom do really, really well. And those of us that react like 3-year-olds and have a 3-year-old temper tantrum, we lose money, we create more problems, we're sucked into drama, and we only live a life of defeated, victimized circumstances that we just want to cover our heads and just call it a day. That is not what you're called to. You have a destiny that's calling out to you. You do. Do you realize that? You have a destiny, and that destiny includes success. You are called to succeed. And if you are not succeeding, it's simply because you are lacking a simple skill. You're lacking some understanding in an area. You're lacking the ability, and everybody can grow their own ability. You will get on the other side of the slump that you're in business right now. You will. And by the way, you know, success, how it's been sold to us is that everything's perfect, everything's wonderful all the time. Somehow it's heaven on earth. Lie. Lie. That's a lie. Life with humans means there's problems. You're like, where's the knife? No. Problems. What we can change is how we handle problems. That's it. We can mature, we can grow, we can see the purpose in the challenge, we can see the purpose in the problems, and we can have the right attitude about it and get the skill that is necessary, get the counseling, get the coaching, get the advice that we need, tap into other people's wealth of knowledge and learn from their wealth of knowledge so that we can move ourselves ahead. We're taking calls right now. Businesses that are having challenges, we're giving advice today right here over the air on the Dani Johnson Show, where we redefine success. Today, it's about redefining success in business. We got Richard from Jacksonville, Florida. Richard, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. I'm calling to ask that in my business, I can talk to people. I meet no strangers.
Awesome.
Can walk up to them, and now, of course, I don't vomit on them. I've learned to form and talk with them. But it seems like there's that excitement that you know builds up or gets started, and then carrying through after that just seems to die out.
Yeah.
I, begin to try and call them back or follow up, do different things like that, even as customers or what have you. And it just the excitement just seems to kind of die out.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very common in sales, in the sales profession. That's a very common thing. And that's actually something that can be repaired to a certain point. The important thing is that you've got to look at yourself, Richard, and see, does your excitement start to die out? Do you start to entertain doubt? Do you start to wonder if it's going to work? Do you start to wonder if the sale is not going to go all the way through? Because as soon as you start entertaining those thoughts, believe it or not, you're the one provoking that in your customer by the very way you're communicating to them. If you were to record all the way through from the very beginning of getting a brand new customer to losing the customer, and you were to record every conversation that you have with them, you would find that you begin to beg, you begin to convince, you can start hearing the worrying that's coming through your voice and that fear that has entered your mouth that says, this guy's going to cancel. He's not going to go through. So that's the thing to watch. Now, how do we get there? It's because you're putting all of your hope in a customer.
I gotcha.
When you put all your hope and all of your excitement and all of your vision into one customer, now they have control over you. and they have control over your emotions. But see, it's never one customer that's going to help you build a successful business. It's thousands and thousands of customers. And when at the end of the day, you only need a certain percentage that stay with you, that are loyal, that love it, and that send referrals. All businesses have an attrition rate. All businesses have. They all have it. And that's normal. But that when we're kind of new to the business arena, we're trying to grow our entrepreneurial wings, we don't understand that, is the attrition rate 90%? Is it 50%? Is it 10%? We don't know. But I do know that there is an attrition rate. And once you identify what that attrition rate is, then you just learn to tweak it to say, how can I have better customer loyalty? What can we improve to keep them around another 30 days, another 60 days, another 90 days? Nobody has 100% of their customers who last 100% of the time.
Sure.
So stop putting your hope in that one customer that you want to keep forever. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen.
I'm heartbroken.
I remember, man, 27 years ago, that's how I was. It's like, I found it. I got the one. No, there is never the one. It's in the thousands. And so you've got to widen your scope and say, our business is about X. What is that? Producing the best possible service that we can, creating the best possible customer experience that we can, following through with our word. And if people choose not to do business with us, that's their problem. They're simply saying, we choose not to have the best service in town. We choose not to do business with somebody that really cares about us. We choose to go back to somebody else who treats us poorly. Come on, you know what the odds are, man.
And just go next.
Exactly. Next is next. Your product, your service is not for everybody. Period. End of story. No matter who you are, where you come from, no matter how perfect you are, you're never going to have 100% attrition rate. Period. End of story. All right?
Okay.
All right, buddy. Don't let your attitude go in the toilet based on one customer.
All right.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome. Okay, going down to here, Mariah from Michigan. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. It's Maria. I'm trying to figure out how and where to market to gain more customers.
Okay. Well, where are you marketing now?
Mostly Facebook. I do a lot on my personal Facebook page, and then friends and family will share that. But then also inside of Facebook groups, like area business groups, local business groups.
Okay, that's good. So basically you're a hermit?
Yes.
Okay, honey. With business, it's important to expand your wings and not just fish in the same pond all the time. Okay? So you have to identify several different pockets of people where you're able to get your brand out there too. So if you're looking for cheap ways, because again, there's all different types of ways to advertise. There's some people that have no budget, and then there's some people that have a medium-sized budget. And of course, those are those companies that have $1 billion budget. Obviously, that's not you. And that's not me. I'm not going to spend billions of dollars in advertising. However, what you have to identify is different types of people or segments or groups of people. The same exact thing that you did on Facebook, right? So you've marketed to Facebook groups, right? And different pages. Okay, now I want you to take that online strategy and I want you to take it offline. Now, how would you approach the market that's offline in the same exact way? What kind of groups would you target? Identify those groups. Figure out how you can get involved with those different types of groups right there in your local community. So you got to have to think outside of Facebook and social media if you want your business to grow. And then you're still going to drive that traffic to the places that are working, whether it's your website or your social media that you're having good sales on. But you can't just put all your eggs in just that one basket. You want to tap into other groups, whether that's Rotary or that's the Chamber of Commerce or that is the school, volunteering at the local school, volunteering at a woman's shelter. All of these groups bring you people that you have not met yet, and you're tapping into somebody else's efforts who already formulated a center of influence, a hub, if you will. So look at if you look at what your product is, and now you think, who needs this product? Is it women? Is it men? Who's my demographic? Who am I specifically looking for as in a customer? How do I tap? Where are they at in forms of groups of people? And start to venture out and put yourself in those places. Get out of the house, hermit.
Absolutely. One of the things
you're supposed to be talking to people. You're alive. You're a human. It's amazing to me how in this technology world that we are just not getting outside anymore. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Good planning and organizational skills pay off in today's business world. Learn more right here on The Dani Johnson Show.
For families in Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, life is filled with fear and struggle. They don't have enough food for their kids, clean water is hard to find, and they're living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel on top of mining tunnels that could explode and sink at any moment. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming this village. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha to see how you can help. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org, and click on Santa Pancha. The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
We're back. Here's Dani Johnson.
If you take action, all out massive action in your business, you're going to get all out massive results. But if you are lackadaisically approaching business today, I promise you're going to be out of business inside of 90 days. The market is too competitive for you to be lazy, slothful, or hoping that somehow business is going to fall out of the sky. Come on, the world needs you right now. There's a global economy that is thriving out there, and it needs you to be one of the contributors in that thriving. If you are a business owner, or even if you're not a business owner, that you're working for somebody else that is. We need people to step up and set the example of all-out massive action. Of course, not in the way of sacrificing your family, your health, your fun, but in a way where you are actually focused. Imagine that. Today on the Dani Johnson Show, we've been redefining success in business, challenging the most common mindsets in business, as well as the pitfalls, the obstacles, and all of those road bumps that we seem to go through, and getting back on track. You know, there's some businesses that this time of year, they have a tendency of just kind of falling into a lull, right? The leaves are falling off the tree and the sales are falling right with them. That does not have to be you. This is the time to treat it as though it's harvest time, my friend. It's time to get focused. It's time to focus on increasing the sales. It's time to increase your imaging out there into the public and improving the service that you are giving to your customers. Because if at the end of the day, you treat every one of your customers as well as coworkers that they are a guest at your party and you are the host, you're going to have great success. By the way, that was a quote from Jeff Bezos from Amazon.com. Amazing tip for our success. And by the way, you're like, but Dani, I'm not a business owner. Imagine if you took that into your home. You treated your kids, you treated your spouse as though they were a guest. Oh, what kind of service would you produce? Come on, think about the joy that would be in that house. Everyone loves to be served. Well, Dani, I want to be served. Serve first and you'll get served later. I promise. It's how it works. We reap what we sow. So we're going to our caller here from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. We're handling and tackling business problems that people have been having today. Great content that's been coming out today. If you somehow have like just turned on the radio and you missed this whole show, you might, if you're a business person, you might want to go over to our website. You can download the app and listen to the recording of this program. Listen to it all over again. And you might want to take notes because there's some really good stuff that came out of here. All right, so we got Corrine from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Corrine, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. How can I help your business today?
Hi, Dani. It's Corinne. I wanted to ask you, so I have 4 small children. Well, my oldest is 13, 8, 6, and 1.5. So how do you balance, with the career and trying to get that established and then still take care of the house?
Yeah. Well, that's a really good question, and you totally asked the right person because I've been building business for 27 years, and I have kids that are 27 down to 15. So I've been making babies and businesses at the same time for a very long, long time. And so there were some things I had to learn. I had to learn the hard way, actually, Corinne. And my first million I made by the time I was 23, and then I swallowed a stupid pill because I made that first million when I was part-time. I worked part-time, and I stumbled on something. I adjusted my skill sets, and I had a complete laser focus in just driving a business through customer service and built something that was absolutely dynamic. Then I got embezzled. And after I got embezzled, I don't know what happened to me, but I swallowed a stupid pill, and somehow I thought if I work 18 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, I will fix my problems. That was the worst thing I could have ever done, Corinne.
Wow.
It was the worst thing. I was never home. I was a wicked witch with a capital. You know what? I had a horribly toxic relationship with. I hated my husband. He hated me. It was mutual. And I did not know my kids. And I had a nervous breakdown and a heart attack. That was 24 and 25. Not a way to live. So I had someone hit me over the head with a club, telling me that they didn't care how great my product was, that they would not buy a single thing from me. There was no way I could close that deal. And I looked at him and I said, "What you talking about?" He says, your life sucks. Your life stinks. You have nothing I want. You're a stress case. You could tell you and your husband hate each other. You don't know your kids. Somebody else is raising them. You have no life. Why would I want to do business with you, Dani? Like, did he have a camera in our house? Did he have a private investigator watching how much time I spent at my office? What's the deal? It sure seemed like it, but he was right on. And I started bawling. I said, "What do you recommend?" And he said, "You need to hire somebody to teach you how to manage your time." And I did. The very next week, I learned time secrets. I learned the secrets that are embedded in time. I cut my hours down to 20 hours a week, Corinne, 20 hours a week. I became the mother and the wife of the household, the cook, everything. And my business tripled. I tripled my income by cutting my hours way back. So here is success redefined. More hours does not necessarily mean more success in most cases. What happens when we put in more hours and our business becomes a higher priority than our God, than our spouse, and then our kids, then our home duties, that is when our life has spun completely out of control. And we are frustrated, we're easily angered, maybe even enraged. We entertain depression and suicidal thoughts. We're on a self-destructive path. Our health is coming to a crashing disaster. And so when I cut my hours back, it took faith to do that. I had to trust. And I got to tell you, I don't know what your faith is, but I heard this message in my spirit say this: if you can be trusted with Hans and the kids in the home, then I will multiply your efforts. That same voice was my Savior, and I did exactly what he said. And guess what happened? He multiplied my efforts. I have not worked more than 20 hours a week since that time. It's been 19 years come this January. 19 years. I was hurting financially when I started it. No longer hurting financially today. So you have to get your priorities straight. First, in my book, is God. Second, my husband. Third, the kids. My home responsibilities. I isolate the time that I can work my business, and I stick to that schedule, and I focus that. Time Secrets shows you exactly how to work with those very little hours it is that you have, and to be all there with the kids when you're with the kids, be all there with your husband when you're there with the husband, all there in your spiritual life when you're supposed to have that time with your spiritual life. Make sure that you're not multitasking in your head while you are having intimate time with your husband thinking about business and making phone calls and closing deals, but that you are all 100% present and focused at the task that is in front of you. Now you become efficient, effective, and now your results will skyrocket. Hopefully that helped you today, Corinne. Thanks so much for listening. This is Dani Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us today. We defined success in a way today that can help it to be long-lasting. Wouldn't you say? Join me tomorrow for another day, another topic. Maybe we'll talk about money. We'll talk about friends, family, whatever. We're going to help to improve your life by redefining success. God bless.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? This has been the Dani Johnson Show. If you want to hear more, visit us at DaniJohnson.com.